Since Mario and Luigi Brothership was announced, I was just so shocked by the announcement. I really just forgot about the game since then and was just so excited and happy that it's coming. I'm just like, I don't care about any information. I'm waiting for November. I'm so excited. And I realized I've only made like a couple of videos on this channel about it, which is crazy considering the fact that I am a huge Mario and Luigi fan. In fact, it's one of the very first series I really started playing when I was little with Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance. So it just like kind of irked me when I realized the other day I haven't talked about this game, because there's one thing that I really wanted to talk about. And after going back and playing through most of the games the last couple of years, and right now I'm playing through Paper Jam again. Please pray for me. But also at the same time, playing Paper Jam made me realize something, that every single Mario and Luigi game has some type of unique gimmick to it that actually adds to the overall experience, and that includes pretty much everything besides Superstar Saga since it was the first to do it. But let's look at Partners in Time. What made Partners in Time so special? Well, it was the introduction of the babies, you know, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and it was just pretty different with that aspect, having 4 characters in battle, having to take control over all 4 characters, and even the babies can jump off and go do their own thing, which was pretty cool. That was a really cool concept. But then they upped it even more with Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, obviously having a main mechanic of Bowser being playable, along with Mario and Luigi in 2D segments inside Bowser's body. Not to mention, they also had the ability of Bowser getting giant, and having these giant Bowser battles was also pretty amazing as well. But they kept moving forward as well, because with the next game being Dream Team, they did it again in a different way. You're not playing as Bowser, but there are giant battles, and in my opinion, the giant battles are even more fun. I loved the giant Luigi battles when the gyro system worked right, but these were really cool additions, and it was a main part of the game. I really loved that giant Luigi versus giant Bowser fight, but that gimmick was very special for Dream Team. And even Paper Jam had something along those lines, even though it's something that a lot of people didn't like, which is the giant papercraft battles, where you took control over a giant papercraft guided by toads and slammed it into enemy papercrafts as well. These were some really cool mechanics, and it made me realize after watching the initial trailer for Brothership is, will Brothership actually have anything like this? Now, one thing to note is that it's still very early. We don't know anything about Brothership really. We just seen some quick gameplay segments of some battling and stuff, maybe like 1 or 2 bosses, and that's about it. We've seen a glimpse of like what looks like to be the main antagonist. We see Bowser's there, we see Peach's there, but not enough information to really tell us what's going on and how the gameplay is going to work. Is this going to be a basic Mario and Luigi game, kind of being a fresh new start for the series, now finally being on home console, kind of like being the spiritual successor to Superstar Saga, which is pretty cool to think about. But at the same time, I really hope that there's some type of new cool mechanic. Are there going to be giant battles of some sort? Can Mario and Luigi get giant in this game as well? Is there something that they're not telling us with that? Well, I wanted to break down each of what it could be and talk about what I think is most likely. So let's start off with the giant battles. With the giant Bowser and giant Luigi, is there a chance we have another giant character? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure this is going to happen again. I feel like they've kind of wore that idea out enough. I would love to have a giant battle that's not focused on using the stylus, for crying out loud, or gyro controls. So just using a pro controller would be great. But I don't know how this would even be incorporated, because giant Bowser was due to Mario and Luigi being in his body and like revamping his body after he, almost dies, and then giant Luigi was all because of the dream world. There's nothing that really looks like anything can make a character giant within this game. You're on this pirate ship just sailing the seas and going to these different islands. So personally, I don't think there's going to be any giant battles at all. Well, is there going to be any extra playable characters? And this could be done in different ways. One thing I actually thought of is maybe not part of the main story, but maybe some type of post-game story. Superstar Saga's remake on the 3DS, they actually added a side mode called Bowser's Minions, and it was pretty boring. I think everybody came to that consensus that it's just not fun. But you technically got to pay as like Captain Goomba and go around with your squad and Bowser's army in order to save Bowser or something. It was boring. I played through it once and I almost fell asleep. But they did it again in Bowser's Inside Story, where they actually had Bowser Jr.'s journey, where it focused on Bowser Jr.'s side of that story. Will they do that again? I hope it's not like that. If they do anything like this, I would really love to see a separate post-game story that focuses on a character and it actually plays the same as Mario and Luigi's story, they just have their own moveset. Could you imagine, because we've seen Bowser is actually in this game, could you imagine if we could actually play as Bowser and there's a whole side story with him and what he's gone through? Like, he doesn't even really see Mario the entire time, he's just kind of doing things in the background and, you know, also fighting against the main antagonist of this game. That would be really cool. So I really hope there's some type of post game where we could play as maybe Bowser and Bowser Jr. like we do with Mario and Luigi. That would be awesome. They have their own skills and movesets and stuff, and it's not as long as the base game for Mario and Luigi, but it's like a little side addition, because overall, this is the first Mario and Luigi home console experience, and I would assume it would have more content than any of the 3DS games, so maybe this is that extra content that it has, just having playable Bowser, or maybe even playable Bowser Jr. as well. I really hope that would happen, and he could have a very similar moveset to the way he does in Bowser's Inside story. I would be perfectly fine with that. It'd be like playing an HD version of that game a little bit, with a new story and new characters and maybe slightly changed moveset. So I really hope that's what happens. I think that would be the best case scenario. But what else do we have on the table here? Well, we have the new partner character, being Snoutlet, which is this little pig outlet, but he's not a pig. He says it multiple times. What if we play as him in certain segments, or he has some magical ability where he can transform Mario and Luigi, or maybe you have to play as him for some specific reason, maybe he gets giant, or maybe he has some type of thing where it's like a separate gameplay segment. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. You never actually did that with Starlo or the little briefcase in Partners in Time, but it's just something that I'm just, you know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Now, the last thing I can think about probably seems the most likely. Now, this game is about this giant like pirate ship island that Mario and Luigi traverse on. You can see it moving along the sea, and the bros jump into a cannon in order to blast to an island, which seems to be these sections of worlds that they can explore. I feel like there could be some type of events or something with the pirate ship itself, meaning there could be some type of giant sea monsters or certain situations where you have to have a battle by using the pirate ship. I could see being pretty cool, something along the lines of Wind Waker, where you actually control the ship or aim and fire or do specific things like that, or maybe different, you know, enemies come with their pirate ships in order to board your ship. Could be this separate mechanic away from the main game, but something like that I think would be pretty interesting. I'd be surprised if they didn't have any type of like pirates trying to board your ship or something, but maybe some type of take control of the ship and fire cannons upon enemies or islands or giant creatures in the ocean would be pretty cool. Now, thankfully, I'm sure it's not long until we get information on this, because there's rumors of a Nintendo Direct even next week, so whether it's a partner Direct, a mini Direct, or even a general Direct, I'm sure soon we're going to get some information. Even if Nintendo just has to drop it on Twitter, we're still a whiles away, so yeah, I'm not expecting anything anytime soon. Normally Nintendo does big info dumps about a month before the game comes out, so we're probably not going to get anything for this game until like October at the earliest, which is kind of unfortunate, because I just want to see so much more of this game so bad. I'm just like, please, Nintendo. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think that Mario and Luigi is hiding with Mario and Luigi Brothership? Do you think there's some type of big battles, extra playable characters, post-game content? Let me know what you want to see from Mario and Luigi Brothership, and thank you so much for tuning in. Stop what you're doing and do a bros attack on that like button and a Bowser punch on that subscribe button. I'm trying to come up with something as I'm talking. It's not working out. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like always, I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.